Today, I'm going to explain a Japanese manga series adapted into a movie called The Promised Neverland. Spoilers ahead, watch out, and take care. At the beginning of the movie, an 11-year-old girl named Emma gets up from her bed and wakes other children sleeping in the same hall. They live in a massive orphanage called the Grace Field House, where all their needs are taken care of. They are guided by a woman named Isabella, who the kids call their mom. Although the kids aren't tied by blood, they live like one large family and receive much love from their mom. Their mornings start when Emma wakes everyone up. Then, they sit together and enjoy varieties of healthy food. The children's education and happiness are given the first priority in the orphanage. They are taught inside the premises of the orphanage, like any other school. Emma and two of her best friends, Norman and Ray, always excel in their studies and get the highest scores. The children also have identifying numbers tattooed on them and have no knowledge of the outside world. The orphanage is surrounded by a large meadow where the kids run around and play together. However, they are never allowed to go outside the fence that surrounds the meadow. The kids all arrive at the orphanage as infants, but they do not stay there for their whole life. It is arranged for them to be adopted by their foster parents and go to the outside world to meet new people. Similarly, a little girl named Connie leaves the orphanage one day. The kids send her off after wishing her well and tell her to be good to her new parents. Next, Isabella takes little Connie to the entrance of the orphanage. Meanwhile, Emma finds a stuffed toy that Connie loves and runs outside with Norman to return it to her. They reach the entrance gate and see that Isabella and Connie have already passed through. The two take a chance and slowly step outside, where they find a single van and no one around. As they look inside the van, the duo is horrified. Connie lies limp on the floor, with a plant stabbed into her chest. Before they can react, two grotesque creatures approach them. Emma and Norman hide under the van, frozen in shock. The creatures talk to each other about human meat being the best. One of them claims that the meat coming from this farm is elite and is saved for the rich demons. The kids from their hiding realize that their orphanage is only a farm where they are raised like cattle, only to be eaten by demons. The students are classified as good meat when they are more intelligent. Just then, Isabella arrives there and talks to the demons about the students who got the highest score in the class. Those students are the most delicious ones and the ones who are in demand. Isabella had been schooling them to make them taste better for the demons. She promises to bring the highest scoring children the next time. Norman and Emma narrowly escape without being seen and run to the orphanage. Emma falls down crying midway, claiming that the girl they saw was not Connie and refusing to believe their mom can be this evil. Norman tries to calm her down and says that they can run away from the orphanage, but Emma is worried for the other children who are like family to her. The following day, Emma and Norman talk about the events of the previous day. Norman suggests they plan an elaborate escape from the orphanage and not tell the others before the plan is completed. They decide to cross the fence that day to see exactly what the outside world is like. After walking through the woods for a while, they reach a tall wall. They cannot jump across it, so they return. Meanwhile, a little girl named Nayla gets lost in the forest. Isabella looks into her watch and brings Nayla back in no time. Emma and Norman see this and realize that the watch is a transmitter with which she knows where all the kids are. The following day, Norman and Emma go to the woods with a rope, which they plan on using to cross the wall. Just then, they are caught by their best friend, Ray, who is suspicious of them. Norman reveals the truth about the orphanage to Ray, telling him everything they heard and saw that night. In contrast to what the two had thought, Ray believes them almost immediately. He claims that they should run away from the orphanage as soon as possible, but Emma insists that they shouldn't leave the other kids behind to be eaten. At night, Isabella introduces everyone to their new caretaker, Crone. Crone's arrival makes it more difficult for the group to escape. Then, we see Isabella and Crone talking, when Isabella reveals that she found Connie's toy and is aware that Emma, Norman, and Ray know about the orphanage's true motive. However, she is confident they won't escape. Later, the three set off to talk in private. Norman believes that someone among the children is Isabella's spy, who provides her with all the information. If this is true, they know that someone from the older children should be one. The group decides to tell two of the older children, Dawn and Gilda, about the reality of the orphanage. They do not believe the kids at first, but eventually agree to help them. Once the three are alone, Norman says that he told Dawn and Gilda 2 different locations of the ropes that they are about to use to climb the wall. The one that will disappear first will reveal who is the spy. The next day, one of the ropes disappears. Emma and Ray are happy that they found the spy, but Norman instead reveals that the rope story was a trap for Ray. He had told Ray a fake location to find out if he was the spy, and Ray fell into the trap. Ray finally admits that he discovered the orphanage's truth a long time ago, and knew that he couldn't escape. He confronted Isabella, who said that no matter what, he will be given to a demon one day. So, with no way out, he volunteered to be a spy for her, so that she would delay his adoption. However, Ray hasn't told Isabella about the children's plan to use the rope to climb the wall, which makes Norman believe Ray isn't loyal to her. Then, Ray reveals that he has been planning to escape for a long time. In fact, he was the one who stole Connie's toy, so that Emma and Norman could find the truth and would try running away too. Norman declares Ray as a double spy and keeps him on the team. At night, Ray goes to Isabella and falsely reports to her about Norman trying to poison her food. Isabella thanks him, but in turn, says that Ray's turn to be adopted is drawing near. The next day, all 5 of the children are planning to jump over the wall, when Crone overhears them talking, but instead of reporting to Isabella, she joins them. It turns out that Crone was also a student like them. She wants to remove Isabella and be the new mother of the orphanage, and for that, she is ready to help the kids. At night, they visit her room, where Crone tells them everything she knows about the outside world. Over 1,000 years ago, men and demons were at war. After a long and tedious battle, both creatures decided not to bother each other anymore. An agreement called the Promise was made, according to which both humans and demons would live in their own separate worlds. Some humans were left behind in the demon world, and that is how the humans' breeding farms started. By eating intelligent humans, demons take on their attributes, which prevents them from turning into mindless monsters. This also benefits the humans, hence they sacrificed a few on the farm so the world could be at peace. The very next day, Isabella fires Crone because she somehow found out about her intentions. While leaving, Crone sees their supervisor grandmother at the gate. She makes a demon eat Crone for trying to help the kids. The kids then execute their plan. Emma and Norman go to the wall, while Ray stalls Isabella, and the other 2 keep an eye on her. However, their plan soon fails when Isabella locks Ray inside a room and goes to catch Norman and Emma herself. She finds them near the wall and finally confronts them, claiming she has given them everything they want in life, so they shouldn't resist the inevitable. Emma tries to stop Isabella, and as they struggle, she breaks Emma's leg. She then informs Norman that he has been adopted, and tomorrow will be his last day in the orphanage. The group reunites at night. They're worried about Norman, who claims that he would happily die if that meant everyone else in the orphanage was safe. When everyone is asleep, Norman finds a strange pen in his drawer. This pen was kept there by Crone to help them escape. The next day, Norman climbs on the wall with the help of a rope to run away, only to come across a cliff that he cannot cross. He returns back to the orphanage and has accepted his death. The group hugs him for the last time with teary eyes. Isabella finally takes him away as Emma cries in agony, but to Norman's surprise, he is taken to a man instead of a demon. The man claims that he oversees whether everything goes well in the world of demons and humans. As they talk, a demon arrives in front of Norman, ready to devour him. For the next few months, we see a depressed Emma recovering from her injury. She and Ray have lost all hope and forgotten about their plan to escape. Isabella observes them every day and is happy that they are under control. After 2 months, it is finally Ray's turn to be handed to the demons. The night before, Emma comes to visit him and tells him that they still have a chance, but Ray has decided to light himself on fire along with the house. As the fire starts to spread, Emma cries and calls for Isabella. Isabella tells the kids to get out of the house quickly and tries to put out the fire. After a while, she realizes that no kids are around. It turns out that this had been their plan all along. In the past 2 months, Emma couldn't do anything suspicious because she was being watched by Isabella. So instead, Dawn and Gilda told the other kids about their plan and prepared them for it. Emma also found a letter in Norman's bed that had an elaborate plan written on it. Emma couldn't tell Ray sooner because Isabella was watching them closely. They have left the little kids because they couldn't put their lives in danger. Emma has promised to come back for them later when they have more help. Now, they climb the wall as Isabella approaches them with the help of the navigator. She soon realizes the navigator isn't working because the children have removed the device from their ears. Finally, when everyone is on top of the wall, they tie a rope and slide through it to the other end. Emma is the last one to go, but before she can slide, Isabella arrives and threatens to cut the rope. Emma emotionally tells Isabella that she knows killing the children has been hard for her. Isabella wants to see the children grow and is actually proud of them for escaping this far. Isabella denies everything Emma says and stays adamant about wanting to get the kids back. Emma takes the risk and slides down the rope. Isabella has a chance to cut it, but to their surprise, she doesn't. She watches the kids she raised on the other side and smiles at them for the last time. The kids make their way through the forest. They stop when Emma tells them about the pen that Crone had left them. The pen projects a picture into the air upon being opened. An owl emerges out of the image and leads them towards the city, where they will be safe. Meanwhile, Isabella stands in front of the grandmother and the overseer of both worlds. They are disappointed in Isabella for letting the valuable children run away. At the end of the movie, she is fed to a demon as punishment. Subscribe for more videos like this.